Hello everyone. In this particular session we'll be learning about a problem on square prism as well as a pentagonal prism. So by the time you must be knowing how to find out a beta angle and when do we say the given angle is beta angle. So again in this particular case we'll take up a square prism straight away and then we'll discuss what is the condition given, what is inclined to HP and VP. So let us take up the problem. It says a square prism of 35 mm sides of base and 60 mm axis length rests on HP on one of its corners of the base, such that two base edges containing the corner on which it rests make equal inclinations with HP. Draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at 45 degrees and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. Right. So in this particular case, we'll divide the problem into three segments as I told. So in the first segment, you need to identify whether it is resting with one of its edges or corners. In this particular case, it says it is resting with one of its corners of the base on HP. So the given condition is corner condition. You need to take the corner towards the right of the observer. In solids, it is towards the right of the observer. In the second condition, axis is inclined to HP at 40 degrees. So I need to incline the axis at 40 degrees to HP. In the third condition, it says the same axis appearing to be 45 degrees to VP. Now you need to understand when axis is inclined to both HP and VP, it is a beta angle problem. Now when do I need to find out the beta angle? When not to find out beta angle is when the axis appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. In this problem it says the axis appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. So the given angle itself is beta angle. You need not find out beta angle for this particular case. So let us straight away solve this problem. So let me take X, Y, VP, HP. Right. So I need to draw a square with a corner condition. So how do we draw this? So if I connect from this corner to this corner, it becomes 45 degrees. So what is the length given? It says it is 35 mm. So let me start with somewhere here. So he says it is 35. So I'm going to take from here and join 10, 20, 30 and 35. Similarly on the other side, 10, 20, 30, 35. So I am measuring using scale and I am drawing this. Now next, what should be drawn here is, so I am drawing a simple projection line horizontally. So measure 35, I am measuring from here. So 10, 20, 30 and 35 here. Right. So place it here and cut an arc on this. Okay. Join this. Right. So let me project this point now. So since it is a prism, the diagonal should be drawn with a very thin line here. Okay. Right. So let me name this point now. So if I'm naming this, I'll name, you know how to name this top view here. So when I see from the top, we have seen in the previous problem, when I see from the top, so I name the top surface as A1, B1, C1 and D1. Similarly, I name this as A1, A in bracket because A is invisible. So B1, B in bracket, C1, C in bracket, D1, D in bracket. Similarly, O1 is visible, O1, O in bracket. Simple. Okay. Right. I hope you have understood how to name this. Now let us project this upwards here to XY line first. So A to XY line, B to XY line. In turn, D is also projected to XY line. Right. So now let me join this. So now the height is required now. So when I take this height, since it is corner condition, this edge is visible here vertically. So as we have discussed in the previous problem. So let me take the height here. The height given here is 60 mm. So I'll place a scale and measure 60 mm and join this by a visible line. So I'm joining this by a visible line. That is what I've done. So similarly in this particular direction, 60 here and 60 here, right? So join this. Similarly join the base. So again, by the time you must be knowing how to name this. See, axis line is overlapping on this. The visible line overlaps the axis line. So visible line is not hidden here, it is visible, correct? So let me name this. So if I see in this direction, again let me name the bottom surface. So A is visible, B is visible, C is visible, D is the farthest point, so this is not visible. So let me name this. So it becomes A dash, B dash, C dash. Now again coming back, you have D dash here which is hidden, so I'll write this in bracket. Let us also consider O here. O is also hidden in the front view, so I can write O dash in bracket. Similarly I can write this. So this becomes A1 dash, B1 dash, D1 dash in bracket, O1 dash in bracket again, next C1 dash. So this is how you name the point, right? So this completes the first condition. Before that, before moving on to this, so I need to dimension this first of all. Okay, so without dimensioning, whatever the data that they have given here, you need to dimension this. So I'm going to dimension. Right, so dimension this as 35. So this gives me 35. Okay, right, so the height here is 60, so I have to draw a line leaving sufficient space, draw perpendicular lines to this arrow mark. Now write 60. This completes the first condition. Now let us move on to the second condition. He says axis is inclined. See, this axis is inclined here. When I incline this to HP at 40 degrees, what happens here is this portion, some portion comes below, right? So in this particular case, what we need to do is, since this line is parallel to this line here, so on the axis, that means to say axis, so this line is parallel to axis line. So if I incline this at 40 degrees, definitely this line will also be at 40 degrees. So what I do is I'll incline first this line and then incline these two lines also. Okay, right, so this is a parallel method here, parallel line method. So what we need to do is I need to incline this line for 40 degrees. So let me incline that line at 40 degrees. So let me place somewhere here. So I hope this will be sufficient. I'm going to take this point. So mark 40 degrees, because 40 degrees cannot be easily marked 45 degrees. So diagonal I can connect 45 degrees I can connect diagonally, but 40 degrees using protractor I'll do it. Okay, so now I'm using the parallel line method here. Okay, I've drawn it in a line of 40 degrees here. So perpendicular to this, I need to draw this particular line A to C. So I'll place a scale here, or you can use a protractor method. I'm going to use a scale here in order to draw a perpendicular line. So exactly at this step I'm drawing a perpendicular line. I know probably you must be knowing how to draw this line here. Okay, right, fine. So now just take the measurements here from C dash to A dash. Take the measurement, cut an arc in this particular direction. Okay, now 60, you can take 60 and draw in this particular direction. Okay, right, so I'll project and connect this arc now. Right, so next you can draw a perpendicular line which is 60 mm. So I'll place this perpendicular. So let me draw 10 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. It comes somewhere here. So now let me join these two. Right, so I'm just inclining this. Okay, now let me take the center point here from C dash to D dash. I'm going to cut an arc on either side here and join this. So that gives me the second condition, the front view of the second condition. Right, so I'm joining all the arcs here to obtain the front view. So this gives me the front view. Right, let me copy the same naming here, it remains same. So this should be A dash, this is B dash, in bracket D dash, in bracket O dash and C dash here. Similarly A1 dash, B1 dash, D1 dash, O1 dash and C dash here, C1 dash. Okay, right, so let me project downwards. So let me project it downwards to get the top view here. So let me first project the bottom surface. Next B, next C. I'm projecting it in a chronological order. I expect you to do the same thing. Also D. Also project O. If you project, it is already projected here. Okay, so let me name this before joining. Do not worry about the invisible points here. So this becomes A, B, C, D and O. If I see from the top, let me see, just write down O here. Later we'll see which is hidden, which is visible. Okay, so I hope it is very much clear for you. Now project the top surface here. Again the same thing, project then and there itself, project then and there itself, A to A. If you do this, it will be easy for you to solve. That's all. So let me project from B to B here. I mean to say B1 to B1. Next C1 to C1 here. D1 to D1 here. Okay, you've already projected O here, so you not do that. So let me name this. So this becomes A1, B1, C1, D1 and O1. Let us not worry which is hidden, which is visible. Now looking in this direction, the farthest point or points, in this particular case you have got point here. So the farthest point, if I look from this direction, is C dash. So here C should be in hidden or in brackets, so this is hidden. Any line joining this C is hidden. Any line joining this C is hidden in a simple way. Now any corner has three edges. I have explained this. Any corner has three edges. So for this particular point you have got three edges. One is B to C, C to D and C to C1. So straight edge, vertical edge, right? So any corner has three edges. So these three lines should be hidden. So I'm going to draw this by a hidden line. So let me draw this by a hidden line. So from C to B it is hidden line. So which is dark, discontinuous line. Okay. Similarly C to D. C to D. Also from C to C1 it is hidden. So again from C to C1 you can draw it by a hidden line. Right, so it is a hidden line. Right, so hidden line. Rest all the lines are visible. Simply complete the sketch here. So what I need to do is, again I'll go with the chronological order. A to B, B to C is connected, C to D is also connected, so it comes to D to A. Correct. So again the top surface, if I see from this direction, top surface is completely visible, so top surface I need to draw it by a visible line. So as I told, only those three lines are hidden, rest everything you can make it visible, okay, without much worrying about the hidden and visible lines here. Right, so and I've joined the top surface. Also this vertical lines, you need to be very careful with this. See, A to A1 is visible, okay, as I told, all the lines are visible, so here it is overlapped. Next B to B1 is visible, C to C1 is hidden, that I've already drawn, so D to D1 is visible. So that's all. So this is what you have to do. Always you'll also have to take care of this O dash and O1 dash and O dash here. If I see from the top surface is visible, so O1 dash is visible, so this O1 should be visible without bracket. O is invisible because it is at the bottom surface, so just write down O. This, most of the cases this is hidden in this particular top view, you need not much worry about it, okay. Right, so we have completed two conditions, but we have not represented the angle here, which is very much important here. So what I'll do is I'll extend this line here by a projection line. From this particular case, or from this particular point, I'm going to extend and give the angle as 40 degrees, okay. Right, so now third condition, he says it is inclined, the axis appears to be inclined, so the given angle itself is a beta angle. I simply have to take this, place it here, O1, place it here, and then continue. So here I hope it is very much clear till now. So I might find less space, so I'm going to extend the line here. So always start from the left end, okay, left end, and give sufficient space. So third condition, it is sufficient for me if I take Y somewhere here, okay. Right, now let me take 45 degrees here, as he says it is 45, so I'm going to take somewhere here 45 degrees, so it is 45 degree here, so I'm going to have taken this as the point here, okay. You should be very careful in selecting the points here, okay. The bottom surface should not overlap here, you need to be very careful with this. So what I'll do is I'll extend this line here. You can take whichever point you want. So I'm connecting this line here. So you can draw still much below than this line, okay. So okay, let me name this as O here. Let me name this as O1. And let me name this as O. So before that, O1 to O I need to measure, correct? So this is O1, O1 to O I have to measure. So from the same point, cut an arc. I get somewhere here. So I recommend you to name it then and there itself, okay. O1 and O. Next, using a 2-point method here, I can find out the third point here, okay. So I have O1 and O, let me find out the rest here. So I know that O1 and A1 lie in the same line of action, correct? So I'll take this as the arc length. See, I've taken this as the arc length, perfect. So O1 and cut an arc here, okay. Now O1 to C, O1 to C, so O1 to C, I'm going to get it here, okay. So I'm naming this, so this becomes A1, this becomes C1. Clear? Next, O and A here lies on the same line of action. Okay, so I am going to take O and A here. It's not A1, it is A. So O to A, cut an arc here. I'm going to extend the line. Okay, make sure that this point is not overlapping here. That is what I'm expecting. Right, so O to A here. So this becomes A, correct? So next, find out the rest of the points here. So which is very much easy now. So go with the chronological order. O to B. O to B I'm going to take. So O to B I'm going to cut an arc. Okay. Next, you can take O1. Preferably take O1 itself, because these 2 points here you'll be taking it perfectly. So most of the times. So I'm going to use this method only. So O1 to. Okay. So I can use freehand for this to extend the curves here, but let me take the same old method here. And draw the arc. Clear? So this gives me 1 point. So on the other side it is O to D. It is O to D. So next you can take up O1 to D. So taking O1 to D. So O1 to D. So name this then and there itself. B and D here. Sorry, it is simply D. Now it is O to C also you need to mark. O to C. So this becomes C. Okay. Now for the top surface, do the same thing. You need to find out 2 more points here. See, you can see here O1 to B1 and O1 to D1 will be same. Okay, that's what I mean to say, right? So what you can do is O1 to B1, you get somewhere here. Let us see, hoping that it does not overlap, right? So next, C1 to D1 you can take blindly, C1 to D1, and it will be same for C1 to B1 also. C1 to D1 you get somewhere here, perfect, and somewhere here. Okay, so I use freehand. You can also do the same thing to complete the arc. Okay, right. So it's fortunate that this point is not overlapping here. If this point is overlapping on XY line, then it is wrong. You cannot make this point or any of this diagram here to overlap on XY line here. Okay, right. So I've got A, B, C, D here. So A1, B1, C1 and D1 here. Now whatever the naming that you have drawn, you have put here, the same naming you have written, copied here, right? Similarly, the same lines, whatever the lines that are hidden, overlapping, you can do the same thing. And before doing that, so here you need to draw the axis line here. So O to O1 is axis line. So I'm drawing this O to O1 as the axis line. Right, so this point becomes axis line, which is already overlapping, so you need not much worry about it. So next, continuing further, so join all this. So A to D is visible, right? A to D is visible. You need quite A to D. We need a bit patience here to draw this, right? So B to C is hidden. C to D is also hidden. Right, so C to C1 is hidden. Right, so O to O1 is center line here. So you can draw a center line. See here, you can observe. So from here it is visible. So only this portion should be drawn by axis line. Only this portion should be drawn by axis line here. Later we'll see which overlaps onto this particular case. Now let us take the top surface. Top surface is completely visible. So let me join this. B to C1. So B1 to C1. Then it is C1 to D1 and D1 to A1. Simple. Now also connect this vertical lines. It is very much important. Most of the times you may forget this, but you should not. So A1 to A is visible again. So this overlaps, see, this overlaps here. So no hidden lines to be drawn. Correct. Next, from C1 to C it is already drawn. C1 to C it is already been drawn. That's all. So this is about the third condition, top view. Now it is very much simple. Now you just have to project it upwards. Just project it upwards. Let's project the top surface first. The bottom surface first. So let's project the bottom surface. So A to A dash here. See, this is tedious, but it is very much interesting. Correct, right? So this you need to name it. We'll name it later once I draw the bottom surface. Next, B to B here. Next we'll go for C. C is on XY line, so we get C here. So next we'll go for D. D is on this particular line here. So before continuing, we'll just name this. We'll avoid confusions, right? So A is here. We call this as A dash. Now B dash is here. We call this as B dash. I call this as C dash, and D dash here. So which will make our work easier. Also project O to O. O to O. You have to project it. So O here. Again, you need not much worry about which is hidden here. I'll explain. Correct? Right. Next we'll project the top surface. So which is again A1. So I use freehand to complete it. A1. Next we'll go for B1. I hope you are understanding this. Now this line I cannot use freehand. I'll just extend this. Okay, only such corners, small corners you can extend using freehand. Next we'll go for C dash. See here, C and A are not overlapping. Okay, there is a bit difference. You need to identify that and draw it. Right. Next we'll go for D1. So be careful in projecting. Okay, that is why I expect you to draw, project the lines then and there itself, which will avoid confusions. Right. So we have projected. Let us name the front view here. So A is here. So it becomes A1 dash, which is B1 dash. This becomes C1 dash, and this becomes D1 dash, and this becomes O1 dash. Okay, clear. Right. So I've not worried about which is hidden here. So now we'll see. Now if I project in this direction, if I see in this direction, the bottom surface is completely visible. Always project in such a way that this bottom surface, if you rotate this way, always rotate in such a way that this bottom surface is near to the observer. Do not project this way. Always project this way only. This is one convenient method that I follow. So I hope you also follow the same method here. It is not that you cannot do this way. You can do this way, but only thing is the view differs. So I recommend you to rotate this way, such that if the observer is here, the bottom surface is nearer to the observer. Okay, if you follow this, easily you can identify the hidden and visible points here. So as I told, the bottom surface is completely visible. So all the points should be visible, right? So let me join all the points by a visible line. So let me start with A to B dash here. So A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash, C dash to D dash, D dash to A dash, join, right? Next, so again you know about how to draw this. Okay, next the outer boundaries. So C and C dash and C1 dash becomes the outer boundary. See, B and this cannot be outer boundary, so this has to be outer boundary. What is the second step? So first First step is to join this bottom surface by visible line. Second step is to join the outer boundary by a visible line. Okay, eventually you will understand, by practice you will understand. C dash, what is the next point to connect? It should be B dash. So it is a visible line. So I am joining this by visible line. Next, B1 dash to A1 dash is a visible line because this is again the outer boundary. Now let me check. A1 dash to D1 dash I can connect, but before that this becomes the outer boundary. So A1 dash to A dash I need to join by a visible line. I hope it is clear for you. See, now you have joined all the outer boundaries. So first step is to join the bottom surface. Second step is to join by the outer boundary. Third step is look into this bottom surface. Any straight edges, I mean to say this edges, A dash, A1 dash, B dash, B1 dash, C dash, C1 dash, D dash, D1 dash. Any line, any straight edge that is passing inside this lamina, it might be square, it might be rectangle, or it might be pentagon, it might be hexagon, any kind of lamina here, shape here, line, the straight edge that is passing inside this lamina should be hidden. If I consider A dash and A dash, it is outside this square lamina. B dash and B1 dash, again it is outside the lamina. So I am joining this by a visible line. Simple. Next, C dash to C1 dash, it is again outside, which is visible. Now let me consider D dash, D1 dash, which is passing inside the square lamina. Understand? Okay, it's passing inside the square lamina. So make this hidden. For any problem it remains same. You need not worry about it. Okay, this line becomes hidden. You cannot draw this visible because no two visible lines crosses each other. You can make a note of this. So no two visible lines crosses each other. Any solid you take here, any portion here, none of the visible lines are overlapping. So this is a hidden line. Now after doing this, first step is this, second step join by the outer boundary, third step is identify this line. Now fourth step is any line joining this line is also hidden. Any line joining this line is also hidden. So this point is D1 dash, D1 dash to A1 dash is the connecting edge. So that is hidden here. Similarly, C1 dash to D1 dash is hidden. Right, it is hidden. Now this is complete with a small entry here. So here this junction should be hidden. So which is this junction? This is D1 dash. So this should be hidden. Now when I see from this, bottom surface is completely visible, but top surface, this O1 is hidden. So simply write this in bracket. Most of the times for prism it remains same. Okay, so this completes the problem. Before that, let me dimension this. Let me give the angle of this. So it is 45 degrees. I've taken 45 degrees. Okay, so this completes the problem. I hope it is very much clear for you. Yes, if you read the problem, I have mentioned 35 mm, 60 mm, 40 degrees, here 45 degrees. So this completes the problem, which is easy. Now it should be easy for you. You can also give the leaders in whichever direction you have given. So I can give the leaders here in this direction. Okay, so this is for all the conditions you can do the same. I hope it is very much clear for you. In the next video, we'll learn how to solve a problem on pentagonal prism. Okay, right. Thank you for watching the video.